laboratory technicians, mental health professionals, and others who work together in accordance with MSF's guiding principles of humanitarian actions and medical ethics. The organization received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1999. And with that, it looks like we are ready to pass over to our runner, JustinDM, with Metroid Prime Any %.
All right, who is ready for Metroid Prime? Whenever you're ready, Justin.
Are you gonna do a countdown?
You got this.
That's the plan.
Yep.
Yeah, he's ready.
You want countdown?
Yeah, countdown.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2,
1, go! So this is Metroid Prime. It's a very heavily movement-oriented speedrun, and you're going to be seeing a lot of that right away. Coming up here right after this cutscene. Going to do a couple targets real quick. These are supposed to teach the player how to aim. We already know how to do that.
Yeah, it goes by pretty fast here in the beginning.
And right away, right after these targets, you're going to see him turn left and lock onto this ship and do a dash here. That's called a scan dash. So the way it works is this game has speed caps to keep the player under control and stop him from sequence faking too much. But Retro forgot to add sideways speed caps. So when you dash off a scan point or an enemy and then you just let go of the lock key, you'll just keep flying at full dash speed until you hit something.
Yeah, it's generally one of the fastest forms of movement we have.
You're going to be seeing that a lot in the run. It's pretty heavily optimized. You can see him jumping around a lot here. This is because air movement in general is faster than walking. You accelerate as long as you're holding forward. So the more you can be in the air, the faster you're moving.
It's a nice looking suit.
That lovely vomit colored green.
You guys want to introduce the couch?
That's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can start in the end.
Yeah, start from left to right.
Yeah, so this is BashPrime and Remy. I'm Skull.
I'm Edzan.
I'm Whiskers.
I'm IceFire. This is Pitsky and Venmi.
And Justin, I'm running the game.
So coming up here, he's doing a reposition strat there. By bomb jumping up to that pipe and then jamming himself in the corner, the game repositions him up to the second floor and skips having to ride an elevator. Unlike this one, which is unavoidable.
It saves about 8 seconds.
Yeah, the classic 8-second time save.
Everything saves 8 seconds.
So the community loves to not time things in this game, and usually just throw out random numbers for how much something saves. So if it's short, it's 7 or 8 seconds, and if it's long, it's 45 seconds. And that's what we did for about 7 years until we finally decided to get, before we finally decided to get our stuff together and actually make timing videos.
So coming up is the first boss in this game.
This door.
Yeah.
Don't blink.
So this is Parasite Queen, first boss in the game, and it's dead.
Yeah.
So what Justin just did there is called rapid fire missiles. Normally the game has a fixed fire rate cap for these missiles. You can only fire them so fast, but by pressing A after firing a missile, it cancels that rate of fire, and you can fire them almost as fast as possible.
You can also do it with the C-stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really convenient. That boss actually takes a while if you don't spam it with missiles.
Yeah. So just going through the classic Metroid escape sequence with the timer.
He's got 7 minutes. Hopefully he gets it in time.
The classic 7-minute escape.
So you can see him messing around in this corner here. That's not gonna work.
This is RNG manipulation.
And now he's out of bounds. So by going out of bounds here, instead of going through the escape sequence the intended way, we can go back the way we came, and this skips a bunch of rooms and cutscenes and saves a whole chunk of time.
Yeah, the out of bounds is a more direct path. It's the way we were just coming through earlier. The inbounds way just goes through a giant circle through the entire frigate again.
And you can see him, he's just, appears to be just flying around here. The way this works is every room is inside of a box. And when you're outside of this box, Samus behaves as if she's standing on ground. And by moving inside and outside of this box, you have a small time window where you can jump. And by repeating that over and over again, you can climb very tall rooms by just seemingly jumping in midair.
This is actually going pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
And because the game world is split into rooms like this, he has to interact with these doors this way to progress through the game. The rooms aren't loaded by default, so there you go.
That was insane. That was
Really
insane.
good. Really good.
519, that's really good.
And he got the one-frame bomb, the most important bomb in the game.
That was one of the hardest things he's going to do in the entire run.
Right at the beginning, 5 minutes
Yeah.
in. So here's our dragon friend. He's flying through space. Everyone knows if you flap your wings in space, you go faster.
And we're going to follow the dragon onto the planet.
So not a lot to do here besides watch this cutscene. So got some time for donations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's get a quick donation in.
Absolutely. We have a $25 donation from Cactus that says, have to donate for Metroid. Having both Metroid Prime 1 and 2 back-to-back is insane. I can't wait.
All right. So right away, you're going to see him do something pretty cool. He's going to dash right here. And now he's at the ledge where you get space jump.
Yeah, we just skipped like a third of the way into the game.
It's supposed to be like the 7th or so item you get. We're getting it right now as the first item. It's called Space Jump First.
If you noticed, his suit's blue, but his hand's yellow. We actually lost all of our items after we landed back on Frigate. When you go in bounds, you're supposed to see a cutscene where you lose your items, but they programmed it to where when you land, even if you skip that cutscene, you still lose all your items. So we have to go collect them from the beginning.
So, like getting Space Jump First, a lot of this run focuses on routing out all the backtracking the developers intended for you to do. So normally to get Space Jump, we would have to go where we're going now, Chozo Ruins, get a bunch of items, then go to Fenjana Drifts, get Boost Ball, come back here, use a half pipe, and then get Space Jump. This is going to be a very common theme in the run. We're going to be getting things mostly out of order and skipping some other major items entirely.
So having Space Jump lets him get this missile expansion right here. Normally you're supposed to go fight a mini-boss, which takes a while. But since they didn't really intend you to have Space Jump this early, having it means you can get a lot of things you weren't supposed to.
Yeah, the missile expansion basically functions the exact same as the intended missile launcher. They just have slightly different animation and cutscene.
Just making our way to Morph Ball here. So normally there's a boss you're supposed to fight here before getting Morph Ball, but just dashing over, you skip it entirely.
You do hit it on the way out, though, in order to save a little bit of time.
But once you have Morph Ball, you can leave without fighting it.
Yeah, we get some pretty killer music here. And because we're not going to fight the boss, you just get to hear this lovely sound the entire time.
It's a lot of rooms.
Yeah, until we hit the next sound trigger, you're just going to hear this nice boss music. Really sets the atmosphere.
I think right now is probably a good time for some donations.
Yeah, let's do some donations.
Absolutely. We have a $50 donation from Kirby Master.
Yo,
Yeah,
Kirby.
a legend.
Kirby donating here during the Prime Games. Good luck to Justin and Claris on their respective runs, and congratulations in advance on getting past Frigate, Targets, and Grand Abyss. I blame them for especially my addiction in the Prime and Echoes randomizers, though I'm not brave enough to try Metroid Prime randomizer with warps and no space jump. This donation goes to Justin's and Claris's choice, split evenly. Hey Remy, Oh, and shoutouts to everyone else on the couch and the Prime community. I'm sad I can't be there for the first half of SGDQ, but I'll be able to hang out with the Echoes multiplayer, the best multiplayer of all time. But for now, I'm dropping out.
So you're supposed to scan the 4 panels, and you sort of missed one, but it doesn't cost that much time.
Yeah, you can fully scan something, but it still doesn't trigger if you let go frame perfectly. It's annoying.
Is it really frame perfect?
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you let
it
go
is.
and it's fully scanned like that. It's too optimized.
So now he has charge beam. Just hold 8 charge, and it does a lot more damage.
Yep, that's what Charge Beam does.
Every Metroid game.
So now that we got Charge Beam, we're just gonna make our way to more ball bombs. We need all these basic items before we can fight the Chozo Ruins boss and get out of here.
So we shot that door. That's actually going to be really important for later in the run.
Yeah, keep that door in mind for later.
Shriek Bats didn't hit him into the hallway. That's always good.
So this fight here is Incinerator Drone. It gives you more fall bombs. There's a lot of RNG in this. The best possible RNG can save you 35 seconds over the worst possible RNG. There's really nothing you can do to make it faster.
Yeah, we haven't found a way to skip this boss or otherwise break it, so the only thing we can do is sit here and wait for its weak spot to come up. Because it was so well made, and we know the developer who made this, he goes by the name of Zoid, we named the boss after him. So instead of Incinerator Drone, it's Zoid.
You probably can do a donation during this fight.
Absolutely. We have a $25 donation from the weakest link, 64. That's quite the long couch for Metroid Prime. Good luck, Justin and Claris.
Won't let that long meme die. He'll never let me live it down.
It's a good meme.
We could do some more donations until he's dead.
Yeah.
Awesome. We have a $25 donation from Hats Off that says, had to donate during the runs of Metroid Prime and Prime 2. Can't believe that both are being played in a row this year. I'm so pumped. And did I hear someone say Deltarune donation incentive? Sign me up.
That was really good RNG. If you kill the fight, or I'm sorry, end the fight, and kill the boss before the music loops, it's pretty good RNG.
Got the one frame bomb again.
Frame perfect.
Saves 0 time.
This was the last item required to make our way to the boss of the Chozo Ruins. So that's where we're heading now.
Yeah, whole point of this is to get out of here. We hate this area. It's very boring.
This area is huge.
Speedrun doesn't really start until you get to Magmore.
Nothing really to talk about here. Just making our way to Flagra. So if you got another donation, you can read it out.
We have a $25 donation from Mr. Miguel. That's sub 15 Varia.
Sub 15 Varia. Wow. I don't even know how to explain that. I don't even know if you can.
This is going to be sub 15 Varia. I'm feeling it.
So what the runner just did there was called a bomb space jump, or BSJ. This game has a mechanic where if the camera is under certain angles, it'll skip the unmorph animation. And that's very useful in this case because it also lets you jump immediately. So by bombing up and then jumping, you get a lot more height than you would just jumping from the ground, which allowed him to reach that branch and go through that room really quickly.
We gotta wait on this door to load.
We.
So this is cutscene. Really fun boss. We get to watch him just lay over and die several times. The intended way to fight this boss is you shoot the mirror as you just saw him do. Go into these slots, lay the bombs, and watch him get hurt. And do that 4 times.
Yeah, you see this nice little shrivel animation. He just turns into a little earthworm.
You think he's gone, and then no, he's not. He's actually back.
So you're supposed to go all the way around the room and shoot both those panels, and then he'll do the same thing again. But there's an oversight where if you just sort of bomb near the bomb slot, it still counts. So he's just going to do that 4 times. It's way faster.
This really messes up his animations, so you only got to see the shrivel once. Now we just get to see swiping at nothing. Just trying to smack the air. Playing basketball over here.
This boss is like 5 seconds of gameplay and like 2 minutes of cutscenes.
Unskippable cutscenes. The runner's favorite.
You can tell he's taking damage because he's red.
Flashing red.
Got time for another donation.
We have a $30 donation here from the Crank Machine that says, could one say Samus had green hair in her prime? That joke was a little too ridiculous. I'm surprised that all these doors hold strong after so many missiles. They must be supported by nice beams. I'd make another Metroid joke, but I ran out of them. I'll be back with more later.
Wow.
You're killing me.
You could do more donations. We're just picking up the suit. Gets another minute of cutscene.
We have a $25 donation from Devo22. Prime is one of my all-time favorite games because it set the bar for what the Prime series would become. Also, if everyone donates $5, less the cost of your lunch, we can raise a ton of money for Doctors Without Borders. We also have a $25 donation from Pixley, donating right before one of my absolute favorite games of all time. Metroid Prime was an inspiration to me, and I'm so glad it is helping such a great cause.
So in the room where he fought Flagra, there's an artifact. But in order to get the artifact to appear, he has to go about 2 rooms away and then fall about halfway down the next room. Normally you're supposed to fall all the way down, but it's actually possible to fall about halfway down and activate make the artifact show up. And this is probably one of the most famous tricks in the run, I'd say. So he kind of got himself lodged in the wall. Now he's infinite bomb jumping back up.
Yeah, by lodging himself in the wall like this, he slows down how fast he falls, which lets the bombs refill.
And he got it.
Yeah.
That's super important to get, since if you fall there, there's really nothing else you can do.
If you fall, it's run over.
Yeah, it's easily one of the larger time saves.
Yeah. If you wanted to go back and get this item with the intended items, you'd need to spend 20 minutes backtracking.
It's pretty bad.
Because you need to get supers and spider, neither of which we're going to be getting in this run.
So we're shooting at this ghost, and it makes him spawn early. You can see he spawn before the other ones. We got to fight these ghosts and kind of just juggle them too. Do you want to explain juggling?
So these ghosts, as you can see, when they dash away, they turn invisible and become incapable of taking damage. But by using Charge Beam and hitting them just as they're starting that dash, you can see they reflect back like that. And you can chain those over and over again until they're dead. That prevents them from disappearing and removes a big part of the RNG of this fight. And because of the funny movements they make, we call them ghost juggling.
This is actually going really well.
Yeah, these ghosts are behaving really nicely.
That was amazing, to be
That was
quite
really
honest.
good.
That was amazing.
These artifacts obviously are needed to beat the game. We can't complete it without them, so we got to collect all 12 of them. No way to skip them yet.
One day.
Someday.
The dream.
Just got to wait for another random person to show up and show us how to do it. I say that because recently we had a new runner that just showed up to the community and showed us how to skip the final boss. And we've been working on this for years. And he just, out of nowhere, came and showed us how to do it. Unfortunately, it's still really hard. So we're probably not going to be doing it this run.
Shout outs to Vertigo. So now we're in Magmore Caverns. This is sort of an area that connects all the other areas together. The main point here is to get to Finrana Drift for the next major upgrades.
Yeah, not a lot to do here, just some typical movement as we make our way to Finjana, so more time for donations.
Perfect. Well, we had a $1,000 anonymous donation. So thank you so much for that. We also had a $100 donation that said, "Greetings from Austin. The Prime series is very near and dear to my heart, and so is the cause we're running for. Kill those frames and kill those animals." We have a $30 donation from Punny Game Names that says, "If this game was a GTA crossover where Samus breaks the law, it would be called Metroid Crime."
That's a good username. So coming up here, he's going to do a pretty difficult dash. Just saves a few seconds. This one. And he got it, of course.
Nice.
Just gonna take a pause here to get a quick safety tank. Costs 12 seconds, but 12 seconds is a lot faster than dying in late game.
Sure it's not 8?
It's 8.
I thought it was 8.
Classic 8 seconds.
It actually is 8.
We're running in 8.
This is where the 8-second meme actually came from, I'm pretty sure. Justin wouldn't normally get it, but in a marathon, it's just a good idea. It doesn't cost that much time.
We're gonna be seeing a lot more of these elevators in this run.
Probably do a donation or two.
We have a $20 donation from iPeach that says, "Had to donate for one of my favorite games and my favorite speedruns. Major shoutouts to the Prime speedrunning community and to Bash and Claris for all the great work on the randomizers. Let's see that sub-hour."
Yeah.
I also have a $5 donation from another Anon that says, "I too shall offer this donation for the sacred goalpost. $1 million. We'll donate again if you get the streamers to do this too."
Just gonna do a series of quick dashes and jumps here to get boost ball without doing the platform puzzle. Gonna dash off this inverted snow cone and straight into boost ball.
They're called crystallites, but we call them inverted snow cones because they look like inverted snow cones.
See? It's right there.
They can be quite aggressive little guys. If you bump into them, they push you off the platforms at some pretty ridiculous speeds.
They push you faster than anything.
It wouldn't have been that bad if he fell, but that was just...
I've never seen that.
He was trying to go for another instant unmorph there to do a bomb space jump, but the game didn't let him have it. Kept him on the ledge, though.
So now that he has boost ball, he's going to be boosting pretty much everywhere. It's a really fast way to move around.
Yeah, it's mostly our fastest form of movement, as long as you don't have to climb a lot vertically.
Yeah, if there's not a gap you need to cross, you're probably going to be boosting across it.
Just boosting and dashing for most of the run.
Game reminding us why we're here, which is the Space Dragon. But we don't really care.
Shadow.
We don't really care about that. We're going to be doing something else. So just going to be dashing out of bounds here real quick. That easy. This game usually doesn't have any walls preventing you from getting out of bounds. So if there's a space in the sky, you can usually jump out of it. And he's going to be making his way over here to Wave Beam, and he's going to be doing a trick called Wave Sun. In order to do that trick first, though, we got to get to the next room out of bounds to put the game in a particular state. Right there. So now the game thinks he's in that room that he just loaded, and he's going to get back in bounds here. So this is important because when... There, nice.
That was actually pretty good.
That was really good.
That was really good.
That was really solid. Because now that the game thinks that Justin is in a room that he's not, it doesn't do any checks to make sure he doesn't get stuck. So now he's stuck in this corner, and he's going to start rotating really fast.
This is going to take like 50 seconds.
Yeah, so...
Yeah,
Believe it or not, this actually does save time to do this.
Yeah, going back to that routing issue where a lot of the routing is to remove backtracking, doing this trick is going to save about 40 seconds of coming back here to get the artifact of Sun with Plasma Beam. So what he's doing right now is called infinite speed. It's hard to tell right now, but he's actually rotating faster and faster and faster every second at an exponential rate. And eventually that rate will hit the floating point limit and go to not a number. And when it goes to not a number, some crazy stuff happens.
Yeah, you get some really funny interactions. You're not going to see too much here because we're just going to immediately use it, but...
Wait for it. And he did it.
Yep.
So there's 2 Samuses now. It's a multiplayer game.
So he just used infinite speed to teleport over 2 rooms, grab Wave Beam, skip a boss fight, and grab the Artifact of Sun all in the same frame. So long story short, we don't need to come back here anymore.
Yeah, you can't actually see it, but we did in fact grab an artifact during that.
And now that we have all these items, we're going to make our way back to Chozo. Another backtrack that we haven't been able to eliminate yet, grabbing the Artifact of Light Giver. It's just going to be some more movement, more dashes, so not much to talk about if you want to have another donation or 2.
Absolutely. We have a $50 donation from JRP. That says, hey Justin, it's me, JRP. I couldn't come to GDQ unfortunately, but I wanted to wish you good luck on your run. I also want to say hi to my friend Edzan and everyone on the couch, Magoo. Also,
Magoo.
Justin, quick question, when is Exo Skip and the most important strat? Also, good luck to Claris for Prime 2. I'm looking forward to it. Have a fun and enjoy all the events.
Shoutouts to JRP.
And Magoo.
And his cat.
World famous.
It's got to be one of the
cat.
most popular emotes on Franker Faces.
Just saying hi to that Chozo real quick.
He's a friend.
So is that Lava.
So you mentioned at the beginning of the game dashing. Like you're supposed to use Boost Ball to open up a spinner and then like walk across platforms, and that's really slow. Just being able to dash everywhere makes a lot of rooms really fast.
Yeah, Space Thumb is probably the most broken item in this game. It allows a lot of sequence breaks that the developer never intended.
Wow.
That was amazing.
That was really
That
good.
was
That was an amazing room.
That was really fast. And he's already out of Magmore.
I think we've got time for another donation while we just watch another elevator.
We have a $50 donation from a big eagle that says, hey guys, sad I couldn't be here, but I hope the run goes well.
Shoutouts to Eagle.
He's another Prime runner.
Got time for another.
We have a $30 donation from Muska that says, you could save anywhere from 8 to 45 seconds by not reading this comment, but it would still be cool if you did.
8 to 45. So that was some really good movement in that last room. That was a really hard strat he did. Getting
this
up to the branch.
movement's Pretty crispy so far.
Oh yeah.
This is an insane run up to this point, to be quite honest.
This game has a lot of hidden difficulty that's not immediately obvious. These rooms are very detailed, and most of those details have collision. So moving around quickly, these dashes, these boosts, it's very hard to do that without colliding with something and just losing all your speed.
Pretty much if it looks like you can stand on it, you can stand on it.
Yeah.
Nice. So this is the backtrack IceFire mentioned earlier. He's getting the Artifact of Life Giver. It requires Wave Beam. There's really no other way around it, so you can't get it early in the game.
That's okay, quick backup.
So that room was normally supposed to require Spider Ball to get through. We'll be skipping Spider Ball this run. We don't want to fight the rock monster for it.
Yeah.
Normally you need Gravity Suit to get that artifact, but we use the slope jump. Jumping and ramping up a slope at the same time gives you extra height that you normally wouldn't get, which lets us just get out of the water.
And it also gives you even more height if you're underwater.
Yeah. We will not be getting Gravity Suit this run.
So I think there's 4 major upgrades that he's going to skip in this run that you're like supposed to get in the casual playthrough. It's Gravity Suit, Grapple Beam,
Super Missiles, and Spider Ball.
Spider Ball.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other items we can skip, but it's faster to just get them anyway. It saves time. Like Space Jump is optional. We'll be getting all the visors when only one of them is optional. Or one of them is required. All the expansions are, of course, optional.
There's another category where you actually do skip all of those items. It's called low percent. We call it 21% because that's the number you get, but it's not really. It's a lot longer and harder to do.
So if you like the last Infinite Speed, guess what? We're going to be doing it again.
This is the last time, thankfully.
Get to look at this corner for 50 seconds.
Yeah, the nice sit and wait. The best part is all this lava makes the game lag really hard.
Yeah.
So it takes an extra like 10 seconds usually.
Plenty of time for a donation.
We have a $100 donation from Geisel that says, "Love Prime. Many college nights were spent on this one. Keep it up." We also have another $100 donation from Century27 that says, "Been watching for years. Finally able to donate. What better time than one of my favorite GameCube games?" And a $25 donation from Phazon Knight that says, "It's prime time again, and wearing the fusion suit? Gotta love that mustard color combination. Good luck to Justin and Claris."
It's still crazy to me that sitting in a corner twice for 50 seconds is fastest.
This game has a lot of backtracking, so staring at a corner turns out to be faster for most of it. So, he just used that infinite speed to get power bombs early. That's opening up a lot of routing options for us. Unfortunately, because he didn't have a cutscene to cancel it, he has this. What happens when you unmorph after a light show, after infinite speed, is you get that black screen, which we call light show. And so he used the fixed camera to cancel it, but he still can't unmorph, because if he does, he'll get light show again. We gotta find a cutscene to cancel it, and in this case, it's gonna be this save station here. The door that we shot about 30 minutes ago.
If he didn't shoot that door, then he wouldn't be able to do this, and they would essentially require him to reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully save stations cancel it for us. Otherwise, we would be pretty blind right now.
Which is good, because we're about to go out of bounds again.
It also probably wouldn't save any time.
That's fine. So,
I'm okay.
you okay over there?
I'm okay.
We're going out of bounds here because we previously skipped a puzzle that would have taken some time to complete in this room coming up. In addition to this, it just skips a bunch of rooms that you normally have to go through in bounds, and also skips a ghost fight that we will be coming back to later. You can see right here, he's doing strange movements where he touches particular parts of the room. That's because the next room isn't loaded and doesn't exist. You're not able to interact with it at all. So you have to hit these invisible boxes in the room to load the next room and let you progress. Ooh, a little dicey here.
That's okay.
Bottom of furnace.
Yeah, so the camera's all messed up there because he touched a very specific trigger that locked it in a morph tunnel.
So out of bounds movement in this game is incredibly difficult, as you just saw. If you get any of your movement wrong, if you stick into the side of a wall, chances are you're going to fall into the bottom of the room here. Thankfully, we have that invisible box we mentioned that keeps us from falling forever, so we're not soft locked. But yeah, it can be pretty difficult and very punishing. Nice camera.
Nice DCR save.
That was a really nice save, honestly.
That was.
It could take a lot of time to get up there from the bottom if you mess it up.
And back in bounds.
Yeah. Stone toads are covered in butter.
So the route used to get Ice Beam. Ice Beam before Flagra. So we used to call the wall crawl Ice Beam before Flagra. But the route has changed since then, and we get it after Flagra.
Yeah.
So now we call that wall crawl Ice Beam before Flagra, after Flagra.
We're really great at naming things. Funny story, the reason we changed routes is because this guy right here was tired of doing a particular trick that the old route did. We call it bar skip, where you have to bomb jump over a couple of bars. And we did this for several years. And it turns out he was sick of doing it. So he asked someone to time it. And it turns out that this route that doesn't do that trick is faster. We've been doing the wrong route for years. So thanks, Remy.
Yep.
Another spider track we're skipping here.
This is just an unavoidable detour to get the X-ray visor.
X-ray is going to be needed to kill a boss later that we can't avoid. Not much to say here, so another time for a donation.
Yep.
We have another $25 donation from Kirby Masta. Hi, I'm DF. Go on, catch this donation. I'll donate another 25 if you successfully spell DF with power beam shots before the Ridley fight.
Harder than it sounds.
I'd like to shout out the music in this game. This game is a really good soundtrack.
So because we got power bombs early, not only can we be here, but we can also get this artifact well before we're supposed to. Got enough time for another donation.
We have a $235.07 donation from Eric R. that says Metroid Prime 4 is on the horizon, but are they really going to number it incorrectly? 4 is 2 times 2. The next game should clearly be numbered 5, then 7, then 11. You know, prime numbers. I do have to appreciate, though, that the donation amount was in all prime numbers, so shout outs to Eric.
So now we got X-Ray and Life Giver. Our backtrack is complete. We just got to make our way back to where we first started, which is Magmore. So we're just going to be going to that elevator now.
This is the longest backtrack that's still in the route.
If X-Ray wasn't required, we wouldn't be doing this, but it is. So if any glitch hunters out there want to be known for breaking this game wide open again, try to find a way to skip that X-Ray visor.
That'd be pretty huge.
It'd be the biggest.
Skipping a long time.
Fortunately, it would mean Mars would be back in, though.
Yep.
Sorry, Remy.
Got another time for another donation.
We have a $25 donation from Linus6022 that says, if Ridley is a dinosaur, does that make jokes about him terrible? We also have a $25 donation from Mr. Zed. If this game were only divisible by 1 in itself, it'd be Metroid Prime. Wait a minute.
I think all the puns is why this run's going so well, so keep them coming.
Well, if that's the case, then we have a $200 donation from Central Dynamo that says, I'm shocked at how powerful these bombs are. It's amazing. Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Hopefully we'll have something to say about that mace later.
So he saves at the ship here, refills his health and all of his ammo.
Yeah, it gives us a power bomb, which is really the biggest reason that we do it. It doesn't really cost any time to stop there.
Good stuff.
We got time for another donation. We're just going to another elevator.
We have a $250 donation from Dr. Bob Tastic that says, I've watched various Metroid run, but few have had the gravity of this one. I refusion to believe that the power of these runners is just a phase-on.
I'll clap for that one.
Yeah, that was good.
So bad, but so good.
So this is a new side of Magmore that we haven't seen yet. This is kind of where you're supposed to have space jump now, so a lot of these gaps are a lot bigger.
And now we're in the room where we're going to get Plasma Beam. Normally you're supposed to do all these spinners. We're only going to do one of them. Plasma Beam is at the very top of this room. So falling here can be pretty bad.
This game has a lot of tall rooms.
Yeah, tall rooms suck.
So as this is Metroid Prime and you can stand on everything, by just standing on a couple of very small ledges here and there, we can get to the top of this room by only doing one spinner. Just gonna do a quick yeehaw jump up to this door.
Yeehaw.
You got it.
It goes without saying that the item order is completely wrong at this point. You're supposed to have grapple, power bombs,
Spider ball.
spider ball.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have gone to mines already to get this item, but we're gonna get it before we go there. I love a hamburger. So that was a little bad, but it could have been a lot worse. Just got another elevator here, so perfect time for another donation.
We have a $25 donation from TK231 that says, it's prime time to donate. I wouldn't missile it for the world. These runners juggle so many variables. They must be charge beaming with pride. Donating both for the amazing runners and for the awesome art of Jonathan Vare. Keep up the great work helping those in need.
Nice.
That's a good one.
That was a really cool strat.
So now that we have Plasma Beam and Power Bombs, first thing we do is miss this door. There we go. The stationary targets in this game are the hardest things to hit. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to go and get the Artifact of Spirit, which requires those two items.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that we have to go out of our way to the other side of Phendrana for this one artifact, but
It's one of the most out of the way items in the game.
It's the edge of Phendrana.
Yeah.
Phendrana's edge.
That room went really smoothly. That could have gone port very fast. Those pirates are very aggressive. And the longer you stay, the more aggressive they get. They really don't like Samus.
Good job not switching to wave beam before shooting the door.
Yeah.
Intelligent move.
He's saying that because that's something I do a lot. I switch to wave beam for no reason after going through that door, so I always have to switch back to plasma to get out.
A lot of us do it. You just not thinking, switch off the wrong beam, waste a few seconds.
So after Spirit, we only have two more items we want here before we can get out of here. That's going to be the Artifact of Elder and the Thermal Visor. Not much to say here.
Yeah, we're actually entering this part of the labs backwards. You're not supposed to come from this side. You're actually not supposed to have Ice Beam, but
Or Plasma. Or Power Bombs.
They intend for you to come to this from the front, get the items, and then go all the way back out. But having Ice Beam means you can come from the back, and it just saves a lot of time that way.
Yeah, don't have to deal with the front half of labs at all. There's a third item here that's really important we get, and that's a Power Bomb drop. We're going to need one to get into mines later, so what you're going to see Justin doing here is shooting a lot of boxes, trying to get a drop. It's completely random. It doesn't care about your current inventory at all. It's a pretty good chance with all the boxes you get, but the game can still give him a hard time for it. So far, no dice.
Every box, or most boxes, are a 2 in 7 chance, so it's not that likely from each individual box. But there are a lot of boxes, so it's pretty likely he will get one.
Yeah, the boxes can hold health, missiles, power bomb, or air, because space pirates like holding air in boxes for some reason.
You don't box up nothing at home. We didn't grab Powerbomb yet, right?
No.
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 We.
The royal we. We won't know if that was a powerbomb yet that he just picked up.
It was
or
health.
worse.
It was health.
You saw it go up.
So we did a minor skip there where we jumped and shot the tower down without doing it the intended way. Turns out the wall's just a little bit short, so you can jump over it.
So that's Elder. 1 out of 3 objectives down. Now we just need to get a powerbomb and get out of here.
So he's going to shoot like all the boxes in this room until he finds one.
All the boxes. Just kill everything.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Got one.
That was fast.
2 out of 3. Now we just need to get thermal visor. Not much to say here, so we can get time for another donation.
We have a $25 donation that also includes a question from Luna Minar that says, when I played Metroid Prime in college, I liked to move as fast as I could, but I often had problems with the game crashing when I opened doors or rolled through loading corridors. I've since read this is caused by moving too fast for the GameCube to load to the next room properly. How do you avoid this problem when speedrunning?
We avoid this by not playing on the GameCube. We play on the Wii. This was a bug with the GameCube's drive. It's not fully fleshed out yet, but Retro knew about it, and in later releases, they slowed down loads to fix it. We don't do that. We play on the original release for multiple reasons, not just that one. So the way we have to avoid the crashes is by playing on a Wii, which doesn't have that issue.
Yeah, thankfully Wii doesn't crash. GameCube can get really bad with crashes, especially on some of the older ones that get dusty.
There's 2 specific crash spots, like right at the start of the run.
So during that, he got thermal visor.
Yeah, you don't actually need thermal visor to do anything, but it actually saves some time on the final boss.
Yeah, and it acts as a good night vision. There's going to be some dark rooms coming up in mines. Got another elevator here, so we can get another donation.
We have a $200 donation from Epsilon04133 that says, hey GDQ, I've been watching consistently for a few years now, and I love the energy every time. Had to donate during Metroid Prime since it's one of my all-time favorites. Enjoying the marathon so far, and I'm excited for the rest of the week to come. Lots of love and good luck.
So coming up in this room is the reason we had to farm that power bomb. We're not going to be entering mines from the intended way. Like the rest of this game, we're going to be playing it backwards because it's faster. So to get through that rubble, we just need a power bomb. It was really quick and you didn't see it, but he shot a zoomer, which dropped another power bomb, and he picked it up. He's going to need that after this elevator. Elevator means donations.
We have a $5 donation from Frame Loss that says, I got you that M you were looking for. Oh, you didn't want this M. Oh, you wanted the other M. My bad.
That game doesn't exist. I don't know what they were talking about.
That was a game? I'm sorry, was it not a nightmare?
So there's that rubble we need the power bomb for. We're in mines, so most of those routing and backtracking we did to get all those items early is so that we can only go here once. This area is very slow to traverse through. It's got a lot of roadblocks and large gaps and just lots of technical movement. It's a very difficult area to run. So minimizing how long we stay here to just one trip is very important.
Yeah, just casually jumping off of an enemy's head, no big deal.
Yeah, everything in this game is standable, including
Anything.
other enemies.
Yeah. Even yourself. You are also standable.
Just gotta find a way to duplicate yourself.
You already can with Wave Sun.
Oh, that's right. We still got that second Samus hanging out there. Wonder what she's doing.
Legend has it, she's still T-posing there to this day,
Asserting dominance.
putting fear in the eyes of the enemy.
So having plasma beam means that this elite pirate breaks out of his cage
Just wants to say hi.
Didn't last very long.
He's a big guy. He can handle himself.
So that drone is supposed to be invisible, but having X-ray visor means you can see it.
Yeah,
So
not
it
supposed to
makes
have
the
X-ray
fight
here. Yeah.
a lot easier.
So we're going to go for a trick here called Maze Skip. This is a fairly new trick that was found. Essentially, you kind of try and fall in the hole, and we missed it. Yeah. If you fall in the hole and can manage to get back out before the door closes on you, you can just roll straight to the power bombs.
It's not terrible. It's not a run ender. It just means you got to do this maze instead of skipping it. The maze can be random. What is the 15
to 55 squares, yeah.
You can lose about 20 seconds from the best to the worst.
So the same developer who developed Incinerator Drone with 35 seconds of RNG also developed this one. So
yeah.
He's pretty good at wasting our time.
yeah. Like the two biggest random segments.
Just going to be making a quick safety save here. There's a really difficult trick coming up. Just going to be doing some more dashing and jumping here. Going to make our way to Omega Pirate to get the phase on suit.
So this room is home to the firing squad. It's these 4 turrets right here that like to make your day bad. Thankfully, they have that deactivation right there.
If you get caught in them, they can take your health down really quick.
Yeah, you can just die immediately. They just land all their shots.
They're not just turrets, they're mega turrets.
Oh, that's right. They do more knockback and more damage.
The Pirates were tired of Samus just dashing right past them, so they upgraded him, but it's not very effective. So, Lower Mines is where the game really starts reminding you of all the items you're skipping, especially Spider Ball. This room in particular requires Spider Ball to get to the next room, but because we don't have it, we have to do a series of jumps here that can be pretty difficult and risky. Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, these Metroids do not like to be friends with you.
That was crazy save.
That was really
that was
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally when a Metroid latches onto you like that, they try and pull you down to the ground, so that was really kind of them to leave us up there.
As we said, almost anything is standable in this game.
Yep, including a wall. So, this is the difficult trick. This is the room that the difficult trick was in that I'm talking about, why the safety save was required. So, in the next room is the artifact of Newborn. Normally you need phase on suit to get it because the phase on that surrounds it does a whole lot of damage. But by getting on this glider and riding it to this wall, he didn't get it, you should be able to go out of bounds. So the very tip of that glider pokes out of bounds, and when Samus is riding it, Samus will go out of bounds with it. But because the area is so small, the angle is very precise. So the setup requires a whole lot of skill to do well. There's only a few runners that do this trick in a run.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult.
He got
And
it.
he got it.
Nice.
Second try is still like pretty good.
It's not over yet, though.
It's better than his PB. Yeah. The ride's not over yet, though. Coming up, he's got to do a bunch of really risky warps through walls. So he's putting the map in the wrong room again, which lets him get stuck in this wall. Okay, he should be good.
Oh,
No, nope.
Okay, so we got stuck in the wall, and there was no way to unmoor if you could hear the noise. So unfortunately, that's a soft lock.
Yeah, this is why it's risky. You need to get stuck in that wall and boost through it to get back in bounds to get that artifact. But because he was stuck, he was soft locked. Nothing to do but reset.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but we just saved right after power bombs, so it's really just 1 or 2 rooms away.
Gotta turn the fusion
Fusion
suit
suit,
back
Gotta
on.
turn fusion on.
We'll probably do a few donations when he gets back to that room.
I have a $50 donation from JewelSpeak that says, "Why do you do this to me, GDQ? I just want to go to bed, and you hit me with an awesome Borderlands 2 run, followed by Prime 1 and 2. Guess I'll be doing a low % sleep run tonight before I attempt a napless RTA tomorrow. Please, someone find work skip."
I wish.
We also have a $25 donation from Red Wizard that says, "Samus is a silent protagonist. Does that make her a Metroid mime?"
I'm really enjoying these puns, by the way.
Yeah.
We have a $75 donation from Kevin72 that says, "Glad to see one of my favorite games of all times at GDQ. Good luck and take Ridley down." We also have a $10 donation from Oni114 that says, "If we get a task to Autobot this run, would its route be an Optimus Prime?"
Oh, man.
Sorry, I had to laugh during that one. We also have a $250 donation from Kalefist that says, "Longtime watcher, first-time donator, finally actually tuned in on time to donate. Metroid Prime is one of my favorite games. Break it wide open."
Okay, so he's back now.
Round 2.
First try.
Okay.
Back and back.
He's not done yet. He's not done yet.
Not over.
Got one last part here. He's got to get back in bounds, otherwise he's stuck here forever. Looks good.
And he got
dies.
it. He got it.
Okay.
That's the hardest trick in the run by far.
Incredibly hard trick, but it has a great reward to it. It saves about a minute. Normally you'd have to come back here after defeating Omega Pirate with Phazon Suit to get that artifact.
It's possible to get that artifact inbounds if you have enough energy tanks, but you just don't get nearly enough in any %.
No, you're not even close. I think the minimum for 100% is like 11.
It's
right
11,
now, right?
yeah.
For a human.
Yep. And it's actually required to do 11 in the most optimal route.
One day.
Yeah.
Soon, TM.
So by going to the side of Mega Pirate and skipping the cutscene, he's just stuck there in his tank animation, which lets us blow off these like armor.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
his arm.
Phazon armor plates.
His plates very
Little
quickly.
bubbly shoulder pieces, his knee pads.
It's kind of unfortunate that he didn't have enough missiles to do all of them right away, but it's still fine. So normally some pirates spawn, but if he lays a power bomb at just the right time, the pirates won't spawn. And it looks like he got it.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
interrupt
good.
his animation. It's pretty interesting. You could see his shadow there for a minute. He's actually still there. He's just invisible.
So there's going to be a lot going on in this fight. The way this works is after you knock off the Mega Pirate's plates, he's going to go to these Phazon pools to recharge. These pools have a very predictable behavior. The Omega Pirate will not go back to the same pool twice, and he won't go to a pool that's near you. So because there's only 3 pools, that only leaves 1 left for him to go to. So we know exactly where he's going to show up every time. And he's got it.
Yeah, so that boss can only be damaged with the X-ray visor. So it's the entire reason that we're required to backtrack to pick it up.
And this boss gives you Phazon Suit, and Phazon Suit is needed to damage the final boss of the game.
So if he didn't do that wall crawl, then he would have to go back like 5 rooms and then go get it and then come back again. So that kind of shows how much time it saves.
So if you saw in the cutscene, it actually showed Gravity Suit, and that's not true. We actually have Phazon Suit. As you can see now, we're yellow instead of, yogurt colored. It just kind of shows the wrong suit.
Yeah, we're supposed to have Gravity Suit here, but because we only have Varia, the cutscene logic doesn't work correctly.
Right now, we're just heading to get the last artifact in this Phazon Mines, and then head to the end of the game.
Yeah. Just more jumping here, more time for a donation.
We have a $5.10 donation from Kian. It says, I was only going to donate $5, but then I decided to throw in an extra Metroid dime.
So right there, he just jumped over a cutscene trigger. If he had messed that up, it would have activated an elite pirate fight, and he would have had to kill it, and that would have wasted 8 seconds.
The one that we jumped on earlier.
Yeah, 8 seconds for sure.
Yeah. So coming up is another room that requires Spider Ball. It's a pretty tough room. It catches a lot of newer runners in a bad spot. It's pretty hard to do, but because we can stand on everything in this game, there's, of course, very tiny ledges that you can land on. And we're going to do a BSJ here, land on these ledges, and climb up this spider track without Spider Ball.
Yeah, this purple guy is going to give our camera a little static, but we can make do.
And he got it.
Nice.
That spider rail can be very finicky. Its collision, it's really weird, and sometimes you won't get stuck in it. You'll just fall right back down to the floor, and you have to do the whole room again.
You can't even see the collision.
Yeah. Yeah, these platforms he's standing on are very small. It's easy to slide off. Gets up there without too much trouble. So we're here for the final item in Mines before we can get out of here, the artifact of Warrior. Ooh, almost fell off. Our buddy Calvin there trying to knock Samus off the ledge before we can activate this laser. Thankfully, it didn't work.
Calvin's a big meanie.
So this artifact here is why we had to get the main Power Bombs expansion, even though we already had Power Bombs. Without it, this cutscene right here does not happen, and you cannot fight this guy to get the artifact.
So again, he's just kind of walking to the right, so he doesn't, Phazon Elite doesn't see him. You just spam all your missiles that way and kill him pretty easily.
Yeah. All the Elite Pirates AI, the first thing they do when they break out of their tank is they're scripted to look straight at you so that they can get their ready animation going. But if you just keep stepping to the side, they'll just keep trying to look at you until they're dead. Getting out of there really smooth.
It was clean movement.
So there's one more pretty difficult room right here.
Yeah, another spider skip.
Climb the top of this room without Spider Ball.
Yeah, another example of the you see it, you can stand on it philosophy.
With like 4 Metroids chasing him down.
Double kill.
The double.
That was real clean.
So now he's just leaving Phazon Mines, so I guess we could probably do a donation.
We have a $2,000 donation from Fangamer. It says, here's $2,000 towards the Deltarune run. Did you know Deltarune run? Did you know Deltarune is an anagram of Undertale? Love, Mayor Fang. We also have a $30 donation from Mere Artist that says, if this game was citrus, would it be Metroid Lime?
Yes, it would.
Keep them coming. This run's going great.
And we also have a $5 donation from Sight of Dawn that says, with all the out-of-bounds scaling, this should be called Metroid Climb.
I like that one.
That's also a good username potential.
We also have a $5 donation from Metroid Monday that says, what do crystallites drink to stay hydrated? Crystal Light. Good luck with the run, Justin.
So one last item before we can go and fight the final boss is the Artifact of World. Because we walk past this room the first time we were through here, there's a ghost fight here that is inactivated. Normally you have to fight this ghost.
Unfortunately, we triggered it. Oh, but we got a frame perfect bomb. Yeah.
So unfortunately, he dipped a little too low in that dash and hit the trigger that starts the ghost fight. So now he's got to fight it. If he didn't do that, this ghost here wouldn't activate, and you'd be able to get the artifact right away. It's not that bad of a time loss because we have X-ray here, so we can just shoot him right away. We don't have to juggle him like we did with the other ghosts. Just gonna go up here, activate this bomb slot, and get the artifact, and make our way to the ship. So more time for donations.
We have a $25 donation from Samus Aran 246 that says, hey, can you take it easy with the puns? I'm having trouble grappling with them. They don't suit me. We also have a $25 donation from Hi DJ that says, this game is the bomb. I'm glad GDQ chose to display this game. I sure hope everyone's having a ball during this Prime speed run. Can't wait to see more of the Metroid block.
That was good.
You saw him do a strange dash there. That's just to hit one of those invisible boxes I was talking about earlier in the run, the load trigger to load the next run faster.
Yeah, it actually looks a lot slower, but it saves quite a bit of time. Probably like 8 seconds.
Everything's 8 seconds.
Everything.
Definitely 8 seconds. I think we have time for another donation.
We have a $25 donation from Forma155. Kudos to the runners, Doctors Without Borders, and the late Andy O'Neill, one of many talented people responsible for the Metroid Prime trilogy. We also have a $30 donation from Kevlario that says, phase on, clap, clap, phase off, clap, clap, phase on, phase off, the phaser.
So one last pit stop at the ship. Refill all our health and missiles.
So the premise is that you collect the 12 artifacts, and then that opens up the last area of the game. He only has 11, but the 12th one is actually at that area, so he's just going to go there now.
Got time for another donation.
We have a $5 donation from Wrong Trouser that says, if this game were a game where Samus is constantly being covered in goop, it'd be Metroid Slime.
Remember the donation incentive?
Hi.
That's close enough. So that's the last artifact. And then
Oh, look.
the flying dragon shows up again.
Yeah, we got a little sidetracked, but now we finally remembered why we're actually here, which is to kill this space dragon.
Yeah, no more collecting jiggies.
Oh wow, he just flew right away.
Yeah, so right now he's just flying around. We can't really do anything. We just gotta wait for him to come back down.
He's in for a surprise when he does, though.
Don't blink again.
Yeah, get all your blinks out right now.
Watch his health bar.
Hey, look at that. He's half
All
dead.
gone.
Wow.
So turns out Boost Ball does a lot of damage. And Ridley's first phase, the flying phase, is vulnerable to that damage. So it just deletes almost all of Meta Ridley's health. Unfortunately, the second phase here is not vulnerable to it. So what we're doing is a combination of stun locking and rapid fire missiles to just get him down quickly.
Did that hit but not stun?
There.
That's it.
Yeah, he's definitely dead. You know, bird magic kills him here. You're not gonna see him again.
No, totally not.
No.
Ridley never comes back after you kill him.
That was it. That was his death. Rest in peace.
So now apparently the Chozo ghosts like you, and they open up the area. I don't know what happened there, but
We're friends now.
yeah.
It's a love-hate relationship.
So we're gonna like quickly dash off the air.
Now we're in the final area of the game. Only thing left to do now is kill the final bosses. Just gonna be doing some more jumping on our way to Metroid Prime here, so more time for the donation.
We have a $5 donation from Stickman Mayhem that says, when this run ends, are you gonna call Metroid time? We also have a $30 donation from Suzu Shiro that says, Metroid Prime was the only game I ever bothered to speedrun. Back in 2004, when the world record was a segmented 104, my casual self was happy to get a sub 3-hour run, and it burned the game into my mind enough that it's great to see a run that does all the tricks that I was too lazy to try.
So we just skipped the cutscene, but here we are in the final boss.
Yeah, this guy's a jerk. This is a video game. We're gonna kill a video game. The way it works is he's only vulnerable to one beam at a time, and his hitbox is very small. It's only the face there, so it's very important that you time your charge shots to land when they'll actually hit. Because even though we have a lock on, it takes time for the projectiles to get there.
So the first sub-chamber is always power and wave in some order.
Yeah, each sub-chamber will be adding another beam into the mix until there's all four.
So if he gets Ice Phase here first, that's the best.
Yeah, it's mostly random which beam XO picks, and because Ice Beam and Plasma Beam do so much more damage, I didn't get it here, do so much more damage than Power and Wave, the best pattern would be to mix the two, so we can get a strong beam followed by a weak beam, followed by a strong beam. And the reason for that will become apparent right now. After Metroid Prime is stunned like this, and you snipe him on his way in, it does damage to the next phase, not the phase you're currently on. So by mixing up weak and strong beams, you can do damage on those weak beams with the stronger beams. It saves a lot of time.
You can get 2 full charge shots in before the phase even starts.
Not much else to do now except shoot this guy in the face. Got time for another donation.
We have a $27 donation from Armadillo64. This seemed like the prime time to donate. All I was thinking, what if Retro Studios decided to make a crossover between Metroid and Donkey Kong Country Returns? They would have to call it Metroid Primate.
So we got Plasma first here, that's good. This one's gonna be all 4 beams.
Yeah, hopefully we see one of the weaker beams next so that we can
It's Ice.
Unfortunate.
So that's a bit of a bad pattern. We don't want to be overlapping two strong beams with each other.
Yeah, you saw how fast the phase ended.
Just
we
one
wanted
shot.
that on one of the weaker beams, but we'll at least get to use the ice beam one on power.
One day we'll get good RNG minute strats for this fight.
We're working on it, but we're not sure if it's consistent yet. This pattern could have been a lot worse. It's somewhat good that we got to skip most of power because unlike wave beam, it doesn't home in. So you don't have to actually wait for the opportune times to shoot them like you would with power beam.
So those orbs actually just go away if you activate the cutscene.
Or
So now we're in the final subchamber. All those rules about beams mostly get discarded. Metroid Prime now can change any beam at any time. It's mostly random. He got really good RNG there by starting on Plasma first, a strong beam.
yeah, hopefully we'll see plasma ice. That'd be best RNG.
That's good.
So
good
far,
start.
so good, yeah.
You can see how fast he's going through these phases with these strong beams, which is so much faster than the other two.
Wow.
Really good RNG. See, these puns are really helping.
Ice beam. That's okay. He has like no health.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, still one shot.
That's dead.
That was like a really, really good subchamber for it.
That was really good.
Samus is pretty angry though, so she's not quite done yet. She's gonna jump down this hole and make sure the job is finished.
That's what you do when the giant spider monster falls in the hole.
Jump down it.
Jump in after.
Yeah, we're really deep underground now.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how she gets out.
She just jumps really high.
Yeah, just jumps out.
Using the Shine Spark.
So this final boss is a little bit different than the EXO phase. It's completely invulnerable to all damage. The only way to damage it is by getting in these pools it just laid. This changes our beam to phase-on beam, which we need a phase-on suit for. This is the only way to damage this fight. There's a set number of attacks between these pools that the boss is scripted to go through before it lays the next one. But by canceling those attacks, by shooting this boss at the right time, you can cause it to skip the animation and lay the pool right away. And so Justin is probably going to be going for 3 pools here. He's going to do another set of cancels before finally killing the boss.
Yeah, so part of the gimmick for this fight is that you're changing visors to be able to see EXO during it.
This is why we picked up Thermal Visor earlier.
Yeah, you could skip it, but it just ends up being easier anyways.
Time's going to be pretty soon.
Yeah. As soon as the cutscene for this boss activates, it's time.
And time.
Solid run.
So I want to take a moment and give a couple of shout outs to a few people. I have a shout out to Puttage. He's one of our community members. He's a really talented programmer, and he made a practice mod for this game. And it is very powerful and very good. And we have 2 TASs made for this game. One of them was made by Hazel, and it was the any % TAS in 37 minutes. So go watch that. And there's a 100% TAS in 49 minutes made by myself. So go watch both of those. Anything else?
They are really impressive tasks. If you thought this run was cool, the task just goes completely overboard in the crazy glitches and movement it does.
Yeah, task movement is just something else in this game.
This game's skill ceiling is infinite.
The movement is the biggest time save in TASs.
So Justin has the world record in this category. It's actually a tied world record. There's a player named T3 who actually got a 51-minute time, which is the world record, in the practice room at SGDQ last year. And he also got another one during a race, but he won't show us the video.
Yeah, but he won't.
It's really unfortunate.
just fixing credits real quick. Because we optimize as a community by in-game time, and so it shows the in-game timer at the mission final. This will show how good Justin's one was according to the community standards. RTA was really good.
Any guesses?
54.
I'm gonna say 53.
It honestly could be 53.
Yeah.
I mean, part of this RTA is the death, so.
52.
Whoa!
That is 1 minute off the world record.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that was Metroid Prime.
Oh my god.
And thank you so much to JustinDM for that amazing Metroid Prime run. Can we get another round of applause for our runner? And thank you so much for all those wonderful punny donations that have come in during the run. We have a couple more here. We have a $25 donation from Shifter that says, Meta Ridley crumbled so fast, he should be called Feta Ridley. We also have another $5 donation that says, I was gonna bake a cake, but to honor this great run, I'll make a Metroid Prime. All right, looks like it's time for a quick Twitch ad break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Yeah, exactly. We look at each other like, what?
Welcome back, everyone, to Summer Games Done Quick 2019 here in Bloomington, Minnesota. I'm going to take this opportunity to read a little blurb from one of our sponsors. Final Fantasy XIV Online. Shadowbringers is the newest expansion for Final Fantasy XIV Online. Become the Warrior of Darkness to save a dying world from the forces of light. Release date is July 2nd. Pre-order for early access starting June 28th. New races, Viera and Hrothgar. And two new jobs, Dancer and Gunbreaker. Coming up next, we have Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, run by Claris, the any percent route. We have a $15.99 donation from Green Heron. No pun here, just want to say that these techniques and transitions are 100 times smoother than I could even imagine when I was a kid playing this game. I hope all you runners keep making progress for years to come. Now, if you're looking for some incentives to donate to, at the moment, we have a few coming up tonight that haven't been met yet. We have Chasm the Rift, Episode 5. Normally a 4-episode game, a 5th episode was released for the game well after its initial release. So if met, TBCR will complete the 5th episode. So that's one of them. We also have the hand cam for the Texorcist, as well as Crash Bandicoot 3, Future Tense, all still a little bit off, about 1,700 for Chasm, about 1,500 for the Texorcist, and about 3,000 for Crash Bandicoot 3. So if you're looking for some incentives, those are some great ones that you can get your donations in for. We have a $10 donation from Dino233. What does Samus use before she paints her ship orange? Metroid primer. We also have a $5 donation from Landris. Why does Samus like to stay in Morph Ball so much? That's just how she rolls. We have a $123.57 anonymous donation that the comment is just 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and 13. We also received a $500 donation from Maid that says, "Hey Saku, do these fine folks know that their host, like Samus, has some swag microwave strats?" We also have a $25 donation from Dusty Dude that says, "Yeah, Metroid Prime is great, but have you guys ever played Metroid Prime Pinball?" We have a $5 donation from David Ballesteros, which says, "Longtime watcher, first time donating. Metroid Prime is one of my favorite games. I convinced my friends to watch for the first time with me to show us, so show us your worst. Mexico loves SGDQ and the wonderful cause. We'll donate extra if you can pronounce this. Muchos saludos a los speedrunners, al couch, al staff, y a todos. Y ponte hype." Well, I'm not Spanish, so I hope that I'm French, but hopefully that was close enough. We have a $25 donation from 24 West 24. 2 Prime games in a row? I would say it's an odd combination, but it kind of evens out, you know? We have a $10 donation from Missy Lark that says, "If I rented this from Blockbuster and it was dirty, it'd be Metroid Grime. If I won a Kids' Choice Award, it'd be Metroid Slime. If it had free 2-day shipping, it'd be Metroid, oh wait." We also have a $50 donation from Dad that says, can we get more spike in a potato sack? We have a $30 donation from Avenger339 that says, Metroid Prime seems like there's a lot of places to go out of bounds. Since it was released a few years later, I'm sure Metroid Prime 2 is much less broken. Well, I have seen the speed run for this game, and you've got some, you're going to be just as excited to see that as the last game. We got a $25 donation from Aaronis H. Metroid Prime was my first GameCube game and basically my childhood. I'm so happy to see this game played in a way my childhood brain couldn't even fathom, and I'm more than happy to help Doctors Without Borders do their thing. So speaking of Doctors Without Borders, in 2018, MSF cared for more than 11 million people caught in war zones, disasters, epidemics, urban slums, and remote and isolated regions. More than 40,000 MSF doctors, nurses, midwives, water and sanitation experts, and other qualified professionals, most of whom are locally hired, ran 446 medical relief projects in over 70 countries. Our team's dedication and hard work combined with your generosity allowed us to hospitalize 758,000 people for illnesses and injuries ranging from pneumonia and tuberculosis to war wounds and severe burns. We treated close to 2.4 million malaria patients, conducted 105,000 major surgeries, and assisted in 309,000 births, including tens of thousands of obstetric emergencies, and we cared for 74,000 severely malnourished children in our feeding centers and vaccinated nearly 1.5 million children during outbreaks of measles. Increasingly, in many parts of the world, people are facing the hostile realities of war, disease, persecution, and extreme poverty. While these crises can seem overwhelming, MSF International and locally hired staff are able to provide medical care and clean water that saves lives every single day, something that is only made possible through our joint efforts. So thank you everyone so much for donating towards this wonderful cause. We have an anonymous $250 donation that says, thanks for all you do. Always love to see great runners running great games for a great cause. We also received another anonymous $500 donation. Never miss a GDQ event. Couldn't make it this year, but I hope this helps. We also received a $25 donation that says, y'all rock.
You're breathtaking.
We also received a $5 donation from Jonathan Barris. My mom is a nurse, and I can't imagine not being able to go to her for medical help, much less not having a hospital in my city. I love SGDQ and how they help other people get access through Doctors Without Borders. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Jonathan, for that donation. Very, very appreciated. We have a $20 donation from Sirio X that says, what do you call the final boss of the first game when it's domesticated? Metroid Prime. We also have an anonymous $5 donation that says, I wish I could donate more to this cause, because this event is always awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Well, thank you so much for the $5 donation. And again, every little bit helps, so thank you very, very much.